Wait, did I start the stream? Hello, wait. Did it start before? Or am I just starting now? Because I was talking, but I tried to use studio mode and I think I messed it up. I was talking about Draklin. I was welcoming Draklin. First stream of 2022. And then I think I messed up because I don't know how to use studio mode really. It's not very intuitive. I don't like it. I mean at least, well, I don't know. First viewer of the first stream of the rest of your life. Yeah, studio mode. I feel like I don't know. Like I'm gonna look at it for a second and just make fun of it. Like, why is it when I do studio mode here? Why would it look like this? Like, why would you do this? And I realize, like, there's a view where you can do studio mode side by side, I think, but it's also bad. It's just not. It's not what you want, really. I lost the place where the other studio mode was. Anyway, hi, hello. Studio mode is so you can have a program feed and a preview feed. And that's a pretty normal broadcast thing where it's like, hey, this is the thing that the world is going to see. And this is... Let's try this. This is the thing that I'm going to see. The thing that doesn't make much sense to me is like how much real estate, either horizontal or vertical, that they give to these tiny buttons. Like you lose, I run OBS like this, and it means I have a tremendous amount of real estate dedicated to just this big column here. And then because of the video aspect ratios, it looks absurd. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. And even if so then you go in here and you can do horizontal layout, but it's still stupid because so much real estate is dedicated to this. And the thing that would make more sense to me is if you could have like your preview window tiny, or like have your preview window and the controls up here and then a big view of the program feed. And you can do stuff like split out the program feed and all that stuff, or have a dedicated monitor for it, but I don't know. And I wouldn't even care. I've never even cared about studio mode. The only reason I semi-care about studio mode is the dumb thing where if I switch scenes to a scene where I'm not using the camera and switch back, OBS messes up my camera settings. And really, I think it's everything messes up my camera settings because it's a bad camera. It's a bad camera to use. It's Draklin. I'm so pleased you're here. It looks kind of messy in here. I bought these things. Binary C, I feel like, has peer pressured me into feeling inadequate and feeling like I needed prosumer networking equipment. And so first I was just gonna like, well, I'll just buy this thing. This isn't very expensive, and then I can still use my old, like, my Google Wi-Fi. I'll just use it in bridge mode, and that'll be great, and it's gonna work perfectly. And that was not true. And no one told me that lie except for myself. And then so then I had to get this cereal bowl of an access point. And in general, I think it's cool. I don't know. I'm not fully decided on. This might suck. It might have been a terrible idea, but it might have been a good idea. I'm not sure yet. I mean, the basics are up and working and so on and so forth, but like, I don't know. Wait, what? Toilet paper links? Wait, is that, TP? No, that stands for, yeah, it stands for toilet paper. You're right. Hello, life is yours. Oh my gosh. So pleased you're both here. Because I need you to run to the store for me. Actually, no, I need Binary to run to the store, is the thing. There's a deal at Menards, and Menards is only in the Midwest. Oh boy, there's stuff over here too. What a mess this office is, but I got this thing. I've been buying tools and things lately, and I got this like auto bed leveling thing that just looks like a solid white box, so you can't see what's on there. Kind of weird. What could I possibly do here to make that visible? Anyway, it's the little bed leveler, and maybe that will make things a little better, or maybe it'll make them a little worse. I don't know. In general, this printer has been okay, but I thought I would get like some little upgrades and things, and just try to, I don't know, give a little tune-up, right? A little New Year's tune-up. Got these fancier spring. I don't know. We'll see. we'll see. And yeah, but yeah, Menards, by the way, has the deal on Knipex tools where if you can fit it in a bag, it's on sale, which is a crazy sale. Like the rule for their sale is if you can fit the tool, if you can fit anything in Menards, you walk into Menards, if it fits in a bag, they give you like 15% off or something. Well, okay, it's their bag though. It's not just any bag. It's their bag. I mean, if I could use my own, oh my gosh, if I could go in with my own tote collection, they'd be doomed. But I got them. I've been watching all these. Oh man, I want to talk about this guy a little bit. Actually, first I want to talk about these. I've been watching all these German tool reviews, and I've managed to convince myself that I needed some Knipex Cobras. I did want some. I mean, yeah, I wanted some pliers, right? Some general purpose pliers, and then I watched a bunch of videos and convinced myself I need these Knipex Cobras, and watched all these tool farm reviews, and I love them. Is this called the Nail Ripper? This is called the Knipex Cobra, and it has such incredible bite on it. People make videos where you like can just pinch it on something and then stand on the top of it, like literally stand with all your, I mean, not on your finger, that would be a very poor choice. And they've got this nice little adjustable doodad, much better than the sliding channel, like channel lock kind of things. Anyway, whatever. This was part of another notion that I had. An idea that I had. I'm gonna realize I'm all over the place. I haven't done a stream in a week or two, and so I've got a lot to say, I guess. I had. Okay, here's the state of my life right now. One, I have no ambition in life really, except to have a little shop with some tools in it, and so I figure like, well, I'll just put together tools like one tool at a time and work on that. So that's been a project for a while, you know. And I got the toolbox, and I've been like building it out. And I have tools in here that I've had for decades that are like kind of terrible tools. Or like they're okay, or they're really gimmicky or really silly. So in terms of pliers, what I previously had was mostly like precision pliers, because I was mostly doing little stuff, right? Little stuff. And the only large pair of pliers I have were these ridiculous. They're dear to me, but these ridiculous, very like as seen on TV, Craftsman Robo Grip pliers, and they're ridiculous. They're a ridiculous thing, but my grandma gave them to me, and so they have a special place in my heart. And you know, they can be handy in certain instances, but I wanted to like build things out, you know, have some more options beyond the as seen on TV robo grips. So it's a thing I've been thinking about. It's a thing I've been doing. Let's do it. Yeah, we'll make a song about all the best tools. So I've been watching all these YouTube videos, and I've been watching all these tool reviews and things like that. And I decided, here's actually a tip I have, and this is, everybody get a pencil, because I think this is actually. I think this is a good life strategy that I've come up with. So like, especially as you get older, Christmas shifts for you, you know, like it becomes more about the kids and the family. I'm a particularly difficult person to buy gifts for. I totally admit it. So I don't really ever expect gifts on Christmas or birthday, just because, for lots of reasons. I'm a adult person who can buy my own things, and I'm difficult to buy things for. But generally, some family members, almost always my mom and dad at least, will give me a gift card. And in the past, the thing I would do with the gift card was either one, it would just like go into like the general pool of Amazon, and then I would just use it to buy whatever and not even think about it. Like literal toilet paper, link, TP link, but literal, whatever, toothpaste, whatever. I wouldn't think about it. And that didn't feel great. It was like, oh, it's just like they gave me some. It's like the gift card didn't mean anything, you know, it just like went into this pile. So then I tried using it and like, well, what if I got it and like flipped it a little bit and like use it and buy something for my nieces and nephews or whatever. But this year, wait, binary. Okay, wait, we've got to talk. Oh my gosh. Couple things. Okay, wait. On the train of thought. Here's my new strategy for gift cards. Actually, I just am trying it this year. We'll see what I think about it. But there's certain things that certain people have given me in my life. For example, my favorite tote that my Aunt Jeannie gave me like years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. I use it all the time when I go on like backpacking and hiking, because it's like it's insulated, it's lined for food. And so every time I go on a trip, I pose with it or like put it against the background and take a picture and send it to Aunt Jeannie and like thank her for the, thank her for the tote. And it's a nice moment. And so I thought like, well, I do have these other tools that my grandmother gave me or whatever. So I thought like, what if when I get these gift cards, I really go out of my way to buy myself like the best possible present I can buy myself with that gift card, and then like tell the person. And so in this case, these Knipex Cobras, my mom gave me a little gift card. I got the Knipex Cobras, and then I could say like, hey mom, got these Knipex Cobras with the gift card, really appreciate it. And then for all the rest of my life, when I use these Knipex Cobras, I can be like, hey, the Knipex Cobras my mom gave me, and I can feel good about it. Like my dad gave me a gift card as well, and I used it to get Knipex pliers wrench and a Vera ratcheting screwdriver. Yeah, I so tried the night. Okay, but speaking of binary, speaking of Menards, we weren't speaking of Menards, we were about to be. Speaking of Knipex, here's the thing. I was talking about this ridiculous deal, and it is truly ridiculous. So you probably have Menards nearby, right, Binary? That's you're in the Menards part of the country. So where's this deal? Oh no, I hope I didn't miss it. I don't think we missed it. I think it's part of this deal. Okay, yeah. Life is yours. You're on fire today with the terrible jokes. So here's... Okay, actually, well, check this out. Amazon has these on sale. It's okay. I already got mine. Wait, that seems not true at all. This says Amazon has 10-inch Cobra water pump pliers on sale for 20. Maybe they sold out. Because I'm not seeing that price. Anyway, the thing is, if you go to Menards, there's this ridiculous, like, if it fits in a bag, you get it for 15% off or something. And so they have these nice binary, I know. So as revenge for you convincing me to like buy, I mean, you didn't really convince me, but I'm blaming you. Like, it's your fault, basically, that I bought this stuff, this TP-Link stuff. I feel like you're the kind of person, I look at you and I think there's the kind of person who needs some kind of gratuitously nice German hand tools, right? Yeah, okay. I mean, I think this was not a bad. I think we're good so far. This seems okay. Okay, so yes. Wait, do you have some Knipex already? Because if you... Interesting. Okay. Well, so the main problem... Wait, what are you doing with all these tools? A Klein bag. Okay, got it. I see. So the thing that I really like out of these, I didn't see the deal though. Where is there's another deal here. Is this crazy Menards? I know Life is Yours loves it when I say that word. This crazy deal where if you can fit it in one of their bags, you get 15% off or something like that. It's this thing. Menards in-store Menards in-store bag sale, 15% off anything that fits in the bag. And so, and they already have a sell on some of their Knipex tools. Oh, cool. Okay, the Knipex strippers are nice. But the tools that I'm super into, or at least at this moment, the ones. So I got those Cobras, which I think are I'm a fan of the Cobras. Like they're pretty. Those are the alligators. I like the Cobras. So let's see. Cobra, Knipex, Cobra, stand test. This absurd thing that they do where they have this special fixture and they grab onto this piece of metal and then you can stand on them. The grip is so good that you can stand on them and it just gets tighter, but then they just lift off with just a fingertip. Anyway, I do like those. I think they're very cool, but the tool that I'm like, this is really the one, is the pliers wrench. This tool is so cool. Yeah, I mean, these are next level beyond vice grips, and I mean, those are good. These are the alligators and the Cobras. The Cobras are cool because they have the click and slide. There's an Irwin version of that does not seem to be nearly as good. But this pliers wrench is crazy because it has this similar click and slide adjustment, but to set like a size adjustment, but then as you squeeze, the squeeze is like linear. It's perfectly linear. It's not like hinged. And so it totally replaces a, like an adjustable wrench, like the kind that you slide up and down, and then, it immediately loses its size and you have to keep adjusting it and tightening it every single time. This thing, these. And this is an okay version of one, but and it's slow to adjust and whatever, and it's not that great. It's a pain. Anyway, the Knipex version is ridiculously nice, both in terms of adjusting and in terms of applying the pressure and having it perfectly grab the fastener. Wait, you have some Knipex? Life is yours? Is that part of your electrician's tool set? Are these wire strippers? Is that what this is? Fancy. They do have a very nice line of electricians, like the 10,000 volt handles. Anyway, if I lived near a Menards, excuse me, which I don't, I would be all over that. That pliers wrench is such a nice tool. Like, it's just a nice German hand tool, and you can get it with the Comfort Grip, and I don't know if they have that one on Menards. You can get them in all different sizes. They're quite costly for the full sets, but they just seem so lovely. So I have a 10-inch one on the way. I'm sorry, a 7.25-inch one on the way, but someday I would like to have all the sizes. You can get this version, which is obscenely tiny, like almost a novelty size. In fact, this size is still useful. This I think this is, what's 150 millimeters? That's about 6 inches. This one is only 5 inches, and it's like comically small, and it's not even the smallest one. So I don't know. This, I really wish they just had a set of the 180s or even the 250s, which would be the 10 inches of the pliers wrench and the Cobras together. So we got a little sidetracked there. So yes, just to summarize. Spend your gift cards on yourself in a nice way to tell people. And the main thing you should spend them on is on German hand tools. And if possible, German hand tools from Menards. If only to entertain Life is Yours. But now, the tragedy, actually, oh my gosh, I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I was sponsored by Knipex. The tragedy of all of this, actually, and I just broke my heart to think about it a little bit, is Life is Yours will never do this. Like, well, that's Gador. Gador's nice too, but like Life is Yours is going to be using terrible like JavaScript frameworks instead of beautiful German hand tools. What a tragedy. Okay, yeah, Menards. Yeah, I'll do a Menards ad. I don't think I've ever set foot in a Menards. Life is Yours. Why would you have done this to yourself? You could have had like these beautiful 10,000 volt. There's only 1,000. I think you could get 10,000. Am I remembering that wrong? Maybe it is only 1,000. I kind of thought they had some or 10,000, but maybe that would be absurd and they would just melt in your hand. No, these have been tested. Okay, some stuff at least tested at 10,000. Anyway, Life is Yours. Are you still a certified electrician? I thought you were still an apprentice. Are you still legit? Are you actually legit? Because I will take any of this stuff over like there's no JavaScript framework that compares. No, you have to spend these. You have to spend your money. You have to spend your own money on this. You could get some. You get some nice Vera screwdrivers, some nice connectbacks, pliers and strippers. Some nice. Get a nice Hazet, I think. Sockets, I guess probably. Ghidorah, I think, also has some nice pliers. Stable, nice levels, I think. Nice levels. Stahlvillel. I don't actually know that company, but it looks like they have wrenches. Philo, you get like bits and that kind of thing. Yeah, you could have all these nice, all these beautiful German tools, but instead you're going to be using like React. Well, you have to booby trap them in some way. You have to make sure no one can steal them. So the other thing I got is the thing that I have on the way is this particular. Where is it? Actually, this thing blew my mind. Maybe this is a thing other people know about. I didn't know this existed. So okay, I have one of these. Not the torque ones, but just an adjustable screwdriver. They have a cool like storage system to handle, but these are like geared screwdrivers. I didn't even know that was a thing. So you can twist the handle one time, and the bit holder will twist 4 times. I just didn't even know that existed. That is such a weird. I think that's these, or maybe those are the rapid. What's a rapid adapter? Anyway, somewhere in here is a screwdriver handle that is like geared, so you turn it. Yeah, but these are the one I'm talking about. Well, okay, that makes total sense, of course. Now that you say that, yes, obviously, I'm sure plenty of ratchets do that. But the one I'm talking about is not even ratcheting. It's just like purely turning. But I can't remember what they call it. But yeah, you're totally right, of course, that I'm sure most, if not all, ratchets are geared in such a way to. I don't know, actually. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it varies. I don't know well enough. But these Vera ones seem quite nice. I don't know the. I just wanted to find the. It's these. It's like these. I'm not sure if it's this particular one, but they have these fancy holders in the body. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I like it. I really have no major complaints about my whatever, the Stanley 7-in-1 or 6-in-1 or 11-in-1 or whatever it is. Like, this is actually just a general purpose, very useful tool. I do quite like it. It's been fine. It will stay with me forever. But there's just, I have all these like other specialty things for other specialty bits, and it would be nice to just sort of build a single little collection in there with like whatever torques I need or square drive or whatever, just to have it. Ooh, that's cool. I'm sure they do actually have a lot of. I haven't looked. Oh, this thing is so cool. It's so hard to justify this, but man, these are so fancy. Like it's such a nice little. So it's like kind of a bit set of reasonably. I mean, it's $100, but they're pretty fancy bits, I guess. I mean, they're pretty standard for the most part, I guess. You see a lot of Torx in there and some Phillips, and then sockets, and you can get imperial or metric. But then it has this little screwdriver handle on the side, and then it has this teeny tiny ratchet on top. It's like a little 1/4 inch kind of nut driver kind of ratchet even. And then this little rapidapter thing. Anyway, but I don't know. I can't justify that. If I was a person that was like on job sites and needed to be like under buildings or on buildings or whatever, and I just needed in my tiny tool bag to have a huge array of options, I think this would be really good. But I just don't. That is not a situation I see myself in. Speaking of tools, though, I did get this as well. Actually, my brother got this for me, which was very kind of him, because I asked him, you do know, hey, shopping spree to Menards. Just go every day, once a day, and fill things out. I did get, so on Christmas, I went and stayed in a beautiful little Christmas cabin, and it snowed on Christmas Day, later in the day, and it really snowed around the cabin the day after Christmas, and it was quite beautiful. And we went up, and we were up in the mountains, and we were kind of or not even like in the mountains, just up in a higher elevated place, I guess. And we were in a front-wheel drive vehicle, and we had some like, not exactly tire chains, but like aviation wire tire chains, which I had never seen before. They did not seem to be sized correctly for that vehicle. They slipped in a horrible way and wrapped around the axle. And so we were basically like trapped in this place in the snow with no cell phone service, like airline, like airplane wire, whatever that's, aviation wire, wrapped around the axle, and no tools. And it was not a very good situation to be in. And so one of the things, we got out of the situation, I was able to get the thing off the tire, but I decided like, okay, I just don't want to be in a situation with no tools ever again. And so I did there was a crazy deal from Leatherman that was 40% off if you were a student or teacher or like EMS or military. And all of my student and teaching credentials are like expired, even though I do stuff at PSU, but I'm still waiting to like actually get credentials there. And so my brother got it for me, who's in the military. And I got two. I got one for me and one for the friend I was with. And my brother very sweetly just gave me, paid for mine, which was very nice. So I did get a Leatherman Wave, which is maybe a bit big for like wanting to carry it every day, but I definitely perfect for just in a backpack, you know, like in whatever bag that I have with me. So I'm pretty pleased with this. Feel pretty good about it. It's pretty neat. I had a Leatherman so long ago. Maybe I could dig it up somewhere. It might have actually been an original Wave. I'm not even sure. But this is a definite improvement over that era. And there's lots of other fancy ones. I really got, you know, how I am, and I can just look at things forever. But this one seems by far the most popular Leatherman still, and it has some fancy features. Like it has a little driver with their own custom weird little bits, but they also have a ratcheting extension that you can hook to this. It has a precision screwdriver, which you can have like somewhere in there. Alternate little teeny tiny little bits. Oh, I'm showing you like this. How about like this? Yeah, so I mean, there's a million options in this space, but the deal was insane. It was like 40% off. And of all of the options, I mean, there's definitely a lot flashier options, and there's smaller options, and so on and so on and so on. But as far as like especially I was thinking like, okay, what tool would have gotten me out of that situation? And I do feel like the wire cutters on these are pretty heavy duty, and they even have replaceable jaws. You got a little Torx screw there, so you can replace the jaws, so you don't even have to worry about permanently damaging your tool. So I feel pretty confident that if I'd had these, I would have been able to snip through that aviation wire. If I wasn't able to get it off, which I was, fortunately. So it does have an integrated ruler on the handle. Yes, it does indeed. You will be distressed to hear. Oh no, you'll be pleased to hear. Actually, I was about to say I thought it was imperial only, but it is actually imperial and metric. And they're like actually machined in graduations, not just something that'll rub off. So. I've never been a super multi-tool person because I feel like most of the contexts I'm in, I feel like the context in which I typically need tools, there are tools nearby. I guess that's not always true, right? Like if you're at somebody's house and you're trying to help fix something or whatever. But so yeah, I don't know. I think broadly, like my own philosophy is more like, obviously I want a whole toolbox of specialized tools to do the things, but especially in a bag, like for camping or just backpacking or whatever, I think it will be a useful. I think it will be a useful thing. So what do we have here? Do you like? So tell me about Bako. Is that Taiwanese? Where is that company? Because I was looking at some. This is very nice. Beautiful tip. I want to know about this company because I actually was looking at. Where are you, Bako? Is it European? Kyle! Okay. Bako. So, okay, European factories, it would seem. I guess they were originally Swedish tools, but they are. It's something I was looking at. I thought was. Maybe I'm thinking of a different brand. It certainly could have been a different brand. What did I get for Christmas? Santa didn't get me anything. I got myself some things. I got this. Actually, my brother basically got me this. This Leatherman Wave, which is nice. Local. Leatherman is a Portland company. Very exciting. I got myself some prosumer networking gear for no real reason, but now I have it. I got myself that Synology NAS up there and have the loudest hard drive in it, and it makes me want to destroy everything. I got this, like, some upgrades for the 3D printer. I got, just like, odds and ends. Working on, like, building out the tools. And then I'm trying to sell Binary C on going to Menards and getting these Knipex pliers wrenches, or this Knipex pliers wrench, which they wouldn't tell you the price until you put it in the cart, and it is less. It's not even a whole dollar cheaper, so I feel that was like a little underwhelming. But you can get a 15% off of that with the magical in the bag thing. I haven't decided what to do about local traffic. So this friend does not seem to have a DNS server, which is okay. but it doesn't seem to have a DNS server. I do have the little the little elite desk dude up there, so I could run a DNS server there. Or Synology, the NAS has a DNS server, so I just so I don't know that I would use. Oh, interesting. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about using a real domain name, but for at home. Should I do that? Is that weird? But if I were I to do that, I don't know what I would. Oh, that's not a bad idea actually. For if you VPN in, that's another thing I haven't decided is like the NAS can do all of that. This thing does all VPN stuff, but I don't know what internal DNS server do you run? What device in your home is running DNS for you? You know, the main reason actually I would like that I actually think that is a great idea to have like an internal secret domain is so I can get an actual certificate from what's that company that everybody uses now? Let's Encrypt. Use pfSense. So I could just get a Let's Encrypt certificate and have it be valid, because right now all of the local stuff that I connect to, you get the error, the you're a faker error. Maybe not on everything, but on many things. Like admin pages for these devices. Yeah. You buy one. I think I would just use Let's Encrypt, but Let's Encrypt expires, right? So you have to have something that auto renews. But I think the NAS actually will do that. Will auto renew the used to be like every 60 days. I don't know if it's still that bad. Oh, for secret private, that's true. Wait, but I can. Will it still be self-signed? Like, don't you have to have a certificate authority for like the web browsers to not lose their minds? Or is that what you're saying? Because if I self-sign it and I'm not an authority... Okay, we'll have to look into that. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what I do. I'm thinking I just use... I don't feel like I have super complicated DNS needs, and the DNS server on the NAS is like... I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I'm like already feeling like I'm maybe on the edge of more fussiness than I really wanted to get into. Even just having to like separately. I didn't buy a controller, so I had to individually log into this and log into this. Or I could use, of course, a software controller, but then it's like, oh, do I want to set up a Docker image that's always running the software controller so I can run those things? I guess I do. Yeah, we'll see. Probably I'll just do that stuff as I need to, or even not need to, as I want to, like project by project, like little things I would like. But DNS is certainly a thing that was on my mind. What else was I going to say? I feel like I had some other important thing to talk about. Okay, so Life is Yours is going to quit all this web nonsense and go back to having good tools. Binary C is going to go to Menards and get some proper Knipex pliers, wrenches in Chrome, just as like nice conversation pieces. I think I want the 2 VLANs anyway. I mean, I'm kind of cheating it now just because there's, I have all my like Internet of Things stuff on my guest network, which was actually very easy to do with that. Like it just has a guest checkbox where you don't even have to really think about it very much. But at some point, I probably would want to get a little fancier. But the fanciness can be a project over time. Kyle, what did you get? Did you get anything exciting for Christmas? I feel like I got some other stuff. I have some tools on the way. Oh, I did. So today I went down this rabbit hole. Okay, here's a couple things. One, don't do this. Don't do the thing I'm about to do. Just don't do this. Don't go reddit.com/r/tools. Don't do it. Like, because you can just spend all day looking at tools and looking at people's tools and the way they organize their tools. And you'll look at the beautiful German tools that they buy, and then you'll want the German tools. And like, it's difficult. You'll look at this Mitutoyo digital caliper, and then, I look over here and I'm like, I've got this, whatever, this $20 digital caliper from Amazon, and obviously I really want a Mitutoyo digital caliper, but that's like $130, and you know how these things go. So don't do that. And then also definitely don't do this, which is where I was looking for like all the multi-tool stuff, because this is such a rabbit hole of like, okay, definitely binary C, this subreddit is like half knolling. So it's made for you basically. But you just start to look at so I mean, I think there's something to that. I don't know if you ever looked at this subreddit, the Everyday Carry. It's a lot of knolling of like really like needlessly nice things people carry in their pockets. So I think the thing I wanted, which I thought was not an unreasonable request, is, so I've got the Leatherman Wave. I think it's going to be great in a bag. It feels too big for me to carry in my pocket. Like I don't feel like I need it. I have a Swiss Army knife, actually. It's not this one. I do have a classic Swiss Army knife that I got in Switzerland, like near Interlaken. I was looking at it today. And I got it engraved with Bloom Forever, and it's like this special limited editional one with Edelweiss on it. But it's a little too special to carry. Like it's a little too like special to just have as a beater thing, I've had it for a long time. And so anyway, I was thinking, do I get one of those? Do I get some other like little Leatherman squirt? Do I do something like this insane person and have this really tiny little Knipex? Okay, that's fine. No, that's good. You can take over every aspect. My living room is still mostly empty, just waiting for you to my decorating scheme is going to be walls of knolling. Like this is unacceptable. This person needs help. So yeah, I don't know. I couldn't decide like what's the thing that I wanted, because I don't need anything very complicated. Because again, I'm usually a person where there's tools within reach. Actually, this thing. What is this thing? I had one of these when I feel like I had one of these years ago and TSA took it away. What is that thing? Is this the Nature Company? I had this from somebody. Gosh, I can't even remember what it was. But this kind of thing where it was just like folding pliers, but then there's basically a tool on both ends. You have a cool knife. So the thing that I decided that I wanted was, I didn't want any folding. I didn't want any multi-tool. I just wanted a single. That's actually quite nice. Ooh, look at that. What was that thing? What is that? Oh, that's fancy. Yeah, I was thinking I don't really care that much about having a knife. I would like a thing that is sharpish to open boxes or whatever. I didn't want to fold anything. I didn't want it bulky or heavy. So I started looking at things that were kind of in this realm. that are almost like pry bars. Um, let's see. I don't actually recognize this one. It seems kind of cool. So yeah, it's basically just on your keychain. This is a bit bigger than I'd want, but it's like you just have a piece of metal on your keychain. And I mean, that one's kind of cool, actually. Should I have gotten this instead? This is the problem. I spent like half a day today just looking at this kind of stuff. I mean, does this have anything? Yeah, it's got a bottle opener and just the pry bar. So this isn't quite what I want. So anyway, I was getting into like one piece multi-tool, basically, and trying to figure out if I liked any of them or if anything was interesting. Just to have a piece of metal on my keychain to like open a box or whatever. And so yeah, there's like this realm of thing. And some of them are kind of cool. I think the Gerber shard is very popular. I think it's ugly. I don't actually like the way it looks. It looks kind of cheap, and the way it's bent is kind of cheap. I just don't know. It's very popular for this kind of thing. Then there's all of these other ones, and they get kind of intense. This one actually does have a sharp blade. I mean, Gerber makes fine stuff. I think they're maybe local to Portland too. It's just the shard, like compared to the look of these others, it just isn't quite there. Like this Griffin multi-tool is kind of a cool thing. Wasn't quite what I wanted though. Like I wanted something that was a little bit, had something in the realm of like vaguely box knife-ish and maybe a few other features. So none of these quite felt right. The thing I settled on, and I'm not sure if I love it. I wish it was like felt a little more, I don't know. I wish it felt a little nicer. Like this Leatherman Bruiser, which is really just a bottle opener and like a little pry bar. There's not very much to it. But it looks really nice. Like it looks very substantial. This CRTKA was like fairly close. But the thing I got is called a what? It's called a mica? No. There's so many of them. So I think actually, now that I think about it, the thing I had that only had the tool on each end might have been a Gerber. It was a really long time ago. So this thing, I think this is what I ended up getting. It was either, yeah, so I ordered this today. And it's like, this almost does the thing. Did you throw it in? Photo. Wait, did you put a photo somewhere? Or am I supposed to show a photo? Like, it's got the like little box knifey thing. These nut drivers, I don't know, it's hard to imagine those will actually be useful. But this thing where it's just like a thing I can pull out on my keys that is very small and has a sharp thing to open boxes, and then like, yeah, maybe I'll use it for whatever the other functions listed. I don't know. The thing that seemed most useful was this. So we'll see how that goes. The thing that's kind of a bummer is that they have an upgraded version. So what this is really designed for is not really to go on your keychain. It's for this system that they have, where it's like kind of a custom Swiss Army knife thing, but your keys are part of it. So some people are really into these like key organizers. I don't know. The wrench part is potentially cool. I just don't really know. I think what I would actually prefer if it only just had a 1/4 inch, because, you know, like it's a standard drive, and with 1/4 inch I could like stick in. I did that thing again where I popped off the thing on the tip. Like, you know, all these are 1/4 inch hex, and so if it just had a 1/4 inch hex, I could just stick anything in it and use it. In theory, if I wanted to. But the fact that it doesn't have a single 1/4 inch hex and it's just down at the end, you couldn't just like, you know, seat something in. There's some that are focused on that. There's some even that are ratcheting even. So, okay, I've got pictures of binaries keys, so I can make copies of all these. A cute little knifey guy. Yeah, so there's some like that are like little bitty stubby knives. Um, and I'm not opposed to that. Well, so one thing I definitely wanted was TSA friendly. Like I didn't even want to ever have to think about, because I definitely have lost some pocket knives and things going through airport security. So that's probably the thing that made me stop. I barely have carried a pocket knife in 20 years because after 9/11, it was just, I feel like I kept getting things confiscated. And so I just got out of the habit of it, I guess, because I was, especially in periods where I was traveling a ton. So I just wanted something that's like borderline a tool, but it's just a single piece of metal on my keychain. And I don't know if this is it. They actually have this other one, but it's specifically designed. It's like more closely designed for their fold out kind of thing. And I just don't want the fold out thing. Like it looks maybe more useful. It's got a Phillips driver that looks possibly terrible. And you can like whatever, stack it with lamps and so on. I didn't want that. I literally just wanted a piece of metal on my keychain. Sometimes you gotta pull out a knife. So there's other ones like this one. It was hard to tell. It's just the quality. So I tried to only go, with companies that seemed somehow reputable, but I don't know. It's a little difficult because actually the ones by Gerber and the ones by Leatherman and whatever it is, Columbia River Knife Company. I forget what the acronym is for. I just didn't really like any of them. I just wasn't. Which is a bummer. It would be like, I just want a piece of metal, sort of. So we'll see. I think this one actually looks a little nicer. I just didn't want it to have, I guess I could have taken it out of this thing. I just didn't want that thing, really. There was another company that was similar. I can't remember what it was. It was a similar kind of thing. That I almost went with, but I liked the style of the box cutter on this one a little more. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, the main thing this would do, I just pull out my keys all the time just to like cut a thing open or cut a box or like even saw through a zip tie or whatever. And just to have a little sharp hook on my keychain, I feel like will cover 90% of that kind of stuff. And then any other thing, you just get a tool. Like a real tool. So I don't know. Burn. Anti-sysadmin stance, I see. I don't know. It's like there's all these very popular titanium ones, which seem very costly. There's like a punch on the end. Pretty. And then there's like custom ones on Etsy, whatever, where machinists just make custom ones. And some of those are cool, but they're just really expensive. I mean, it definitely is giving me ideas of like, oh man, maybe I should, like, my machine shop fantasy. I just want a little, like, this is almost getting there, because I can imagine this isn't quite right. I mean, maybe it is. If this was, that looks like a through hole, but I can imagine something like this that was magnetized there or had a magnetized tip so you could stick in a nut driver. It's just too expensive. So I don't know. I did look at these two. They seem like not ideal, or it's a knife with a bunch of stuff. It's just like I have other tools to do other tool things. Until the collapse of society, I don't know that I need to rely too much on a multi-tool, so I just want a piece of metal. I think. And I'm kind of surprised. There's also a Gerber mullet, I think it's called, but it I don't know, it didn't seem quite right either. Seemed a bit better, but like it didn't seem quite right. I mean, I actually did like its little nut driver dude. This doohickey was sort of interesting. It seems popular. It's also very inexpensive. Night Eyes is a brand that makes stuff that people like. So it's not just total junk, I don't think, because I think there's people that do swear by their carabiners. S-Beaner, I think is a particular night eyes thing that a lot of people use. But I don't know, I wanted some sharpness in there, so this just didn't quite seem correct. The price was right though. And there's a lot of different versions of just like the tiny thing, so I don't know. Maybe someday this will be a thing that I try to make. The S-Beaners don't hold up. Okay, one more thing. We were supposed to play. We were supposed to play Satisfactory, and I just talked for now. But one of the thing. Oh, is Dunlop? I don't. Oh, that's a question I have for you. Life is yours. Are there any good Norwegian? Are there any good Norwegian tools that I should know about? This somehow has like a nice like. Is this one you're talking about? It's reminded me of like stuff in my dad's shop in his auto like paint and body shop when I was a little kid. Are these specifically tools for guitars? Is that what you're I guess I should have recognized the name Dunlop. I have some Dunlop picks. I was using those as spudgers. Just What? Are there good? There's no Norwegian tool brands. I guess proximity to Germany means like oops. It means you get spoiled, right? I work as an engineer in Norway, and I use Festool is pretty amazing. So the last Nordic hand tool factory from Norway, Geilo? How would you say that? So Bako. There were some sockets I was looking at, but I wasn't really sure. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it is just the guitar brand Dunlop. I have Dunlop picks. Okay. Where's the... I want Norwegian tools. Visit Norway.com. Look at these knives. Look at these beautiful knives. I think, well, actually, Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, does count as a Norwegian tool, I think, right? This is technically a Norwegian tool. Mm-hmm. Tools from the old world, eh? So maybe they don't really make tools anymore, just make knives now. Yeah, no melee. Okay, one other thing I want to say. It's just, this is a weird thing, and I don't know quite how to describe it, but I've been like watching so many of this guy's videos.
Hey guys, welcome back.
And I'm so, no irony, no sarcasm, whatever. I like really enjoy this person. But I think the thing I've loved the most is the character arc of this person. So, and again, I mean, this isn't meant to be snarky anything. I actually really enjoy these videos. The thing that's just, when you look at where he started a few years ago and look at the videos he does now, one, he's just like, he's super into German tools. He does all these like German tool reviews, and that's where I got into, like, discovered him. Yeah, okay, yes. So this guy is, his name is Joseph Millis. He's got a, like, he's a general contractor, I think in Enid, Oklahoma. So my neck of the woods, kind of. Enid's like, Oklahoma City is like 5 hours from Amarillo, and then Enid's a bit north of that, I think. But like, still, my part of the world, and so I think partially his accent I find a little comforting. Um, oh yeah, he's got everything Knipex makes basically, and he's got everything Festool makes, a lot of stuff that Wera makes. He's actually been branching out though a little bit into Swiss-made tools, in addition to all of his German tools. But I think, I don't know. There's like, he's just one. He seems like a very genuine, sincere person. Seems like a totally nice person. Very excited about tools and like craft and doing good work. Um, Early on, before he got super into the tool reviews, he would like show work that he was doing and how he did his work and things like that. But he almost looks like a different person. And it's like, in my mind, this is not exactly fair because he's like the quality tools the whole time. But he always talks early on about the tools he likes. But you can see in his tool bag that maybe not everything is super nice or whatever. But it's almost like as he has built out nicer and nicer um, collections of tools, he's like developed as a person. He's like, he just his like on-screen persona's really changed. He's like cleaned up, seems like he's lost weight. Like, anyway, all these things where he's just, it's really interesting to see just in a few years kind of like his arc. um I mean, he's doing great. I think he's doing really well. I think it looks like his channel is growing. He's starting to get, like, seems like he's maybe getting some free tools from these companies. He seems actually really, he's very um, pretty strict about not commenting on the quality of a tool unless he's like seriously used it on a job for a while, which I really like. So anyway, I've really enjoyed it. It's been like a weird comfort food. Um, I think it's, yeah, it's a combination of his accent and certain like expressions he uses and things that make me think of my family. Anyway, um, I totally just found him like looking, watching videos on some of the tools I was interested in, and then watched more and more of the recent ones. And then I was like, okay, I have to go all the way to the back. I want to see how this starts. Um, yeah, so it starts with like, poorly shot, poorly lit cell phone videos, and it just gets better and better. Yeah, that's. I mean, I wonder. I wonder. I mean, the thing, like the thing that would be, I don't know, both the triumph and the disaster would be if he got, oh yeah, it would be like destroyed by his own fame. Because the thing that's the best about him is he will be like, okay, I got these tools. Sometimes he'll unbox a tool and be like, I'm not even going to talk about this until it goes in the truck and I use it for a month to just tell you if I think it's any good. But if people just start sending him free tools all the time and he's just doing unboxing videos, like, does he even have time anymore to do to do his actual work? Yeah, I mean, it'll be okay. I won't. I will be glad for him. If he makes it in that way, and doesn't have to like, contracting's hard on your body. If he can find a way to make money and be comfortable and enjoy the tools he likes, that's good. Doesn't seem like he actually legitimately likes the work he does, though. And at least, in recent times, it's not just the tool unboxing videos. He does still have stuff where he's like on site and doing work and showing videos. But anyway, I've been very entertained by this person. Um, and in my mind, I've built this narrative that is probably not quite true, but just this narrative of him, like, I don't know, like like growth as a person, or like glowing up like through the power of fine foreign tools. So we'll see how it goes. He, at least up to a few months ago, or within the last year, he was like definitely at a place where he wasn't really getting anything for free, and he was very clear on that. He's like, hey, I buy this with my own money because I think it's going to be good for my business, and so that's all been great. He also has like insane videos where a lot of the work that he does is servicing rental properties that seem to have been recently vacated by not stable people. And so he goes into like totally trashed houses and then puts them back together. Anyway, that's my vote for the Millis Construction YouTube channel. Still a relatively small channel. He's got thousands of subscribers though, so I think he's doing well. He's doing well enough in his business and perhaps with YouTube ad revenue to at least support his expensive tool addiction. So that's all good. Anyway, I just realized something that made my heart sink a little bit. I just realized something very sad. Yeah, I actually really liked it. I mean, I like to just listen to him and how he uses the tools and the tools. It's interesting too because he has like tiers of tools. There's the tools that are like on his body at all times. Those are like the top tier. And the I think it's maybe it's a 7-inch pair of the Knipex pliers wrench is just like a top tier tool for him. The Vera ratcheting screwdriver that I have on the way, I think was his top tier tool until relatively recently. He swapped it out for a PB Swiss that's like $100 screwdriver, but he was like you could tell it was a difficult transition for him to switch from his German tool to a Swiss tool. But it was good. So he's got that. Then he has like what's inside his bags that he carries. Then he has what's inside his Festool Systainers, which is like their container system. Then he has what's inside the truck. Then he has what's inside the trailer. Then he has what's inside the shop. And he has like this hierarchy of tools. He has all these different tool bags for very specialized things. He has like, oh, this is the plumbing bag. This is the tile work setup and whatever. It's actually, I'm super into it. I wish that Life is Yours could tell us about his tools, but Life is Yours is just going to tell us about like Webpack or something, right? Like you're going to tell us about some new React framework, and it's just going to make me sad. So here's the thing I realized that I should have done. This whole hour that I've been talking about nothing, I should have run this game so that we would have at least been ticking. Yeah, Webpack sucks. It all sucks. Everything to do with the web sucks. None of it is good. It's bad. It's bad. It's a bummer of a situation. I should have started this so that we could have had stuff ticking away this whole time I was just talking. We're very close. We have less than 200 of the last thing. I did get... Okay, so... Oh, is it all gone? No, it's still there. So I got through all the Christmas stuff, unlocked all the Christmas things. The big win of the Christmas thing was fireworks, I think. So you can, these fun little fireworks that you can set off. Very cute, adorable. It was worth it. It was worth all the Christmas stuff. The part of, I mean, you could code in like a language that was less terrible potentially, or like embedded. How are you liking embedded stuff? I feel like embedded stuff is, I much prefer that realm. I mean, it's not like I'm super expert in that realm, but I definitely feel like I personally get more out of that realm than the terrible web stuff. And at least it has a physical component. So I did the whole advent calendar. It was very cute. We got all the stuff built. We got everything from the advent calendar. Some of it was fun. Some of it was dumb. Wait, what kind of pliers are these? Wait, look at that. What is that? Look at that. Are they Knipex? Who can say? I don't know these blue handles. Okay, anyway. What kind of vise? This is a Wilton vise. that a stiletto hammer? Who can say? So here's the problem, though, is I think I have like major throughput issues happening, but maybe we can like get it through it. You know, like maybe we can still get these last 200 because I have stuff cranked pretty hard. So these are all. I mean, ugh, yeah. Why did I not start this? What a terrible mistake. Like, this stuff is as cranked as I can get it without, and still be able to support it. You know, like I just. So it looks like the heavy modular frames are what is cramping my style now. It looks like maybe we're just meeting it, but we're almost fully overclocked here. So like maybe we could slightly overclock these and get a little more. So, but we're basically getting in the ballpark of 3.5 per minute. So I definitely should have. Shoot, this last hour we were talking, I definitely should have done this. Wait, lumberjack game. What is the lumberjack game? Is this true? Do I need a lumberjack game? Wait, what? That just gave me weird flash. This was not what you're talking about, but I just weirdly had the idea of, kind of forgot about Amazon Lumberyard. Remember that? Okay, how are we doing here? So we are just maxed out here, or like slightly under maxed. So if we max here, it looks like we're meeting our needs here. Yeah, Lumberyard, right. Well, okay, you at least triggered the, triggered the memory. Is New World Lumberyard actually? Is that a thing? What? I mean, wait, New World is Amazon Game Studios, right? Is that true? Or am I thinking of something else? Yeah, it's from Amazon Games. It is Amazon Lumberyard. So is New World like the first actual Amazon Lumberyard game to ship? There was the game that shipped and then got recalled, right? Where they like said, "Oh, we're gonna work on it more," and then they just canceled it. It was Crucible. So right, Breakaway got canceled. Crucible got canceled. I don't know anything about this game. Coffins? Did that actually come out? Okay. The Grand Tour game, I think, was universally hated. Like, I want to say this was one of the first big Amazon Games Studios games that came out, and I think it was, like, really hated, right? Yeah, 50 out of 100 on Metacritic. Controls, data graphical experience. Yeah, it seemed like it was not well received and one of the like first big Amazon Game Studios. But then they like rebranded. There was Amazon Games, so I guess New World is kind of the biggest, not terrible Amazon Game Studio game. I mean, it's Windows only, so maybe that helped. I actually did not realize that Star Citizen was Lumberyard. Is every part of Star Citizen Lumberyard? Because isn't Lumberyard like 45 different games? I'm sorry, isn't Star Citizen like 45 different, like... It just says... Yeah, okay. I thought I remember that it was CryEngine at some point, but so they switched at some point to Lumberyard. So okay, migrating. I see. Well, interesting. So that's kind of a big deal. I guess I had when Amazon Game Studios like canceled or shut down these other games. It felt like That was kind of the end of, I mean, I guess that was the end of Amazon Game Studios, and then Amazon Games was like the pivot of that, I guess. Okay, anyway, how are we doing over here? Poorly. So, what could we possibly do? I mean, that is cranked as hard as it goes. Maybe we... Yeah, we don't need probably all the ones that are going out of here and that are going to the train. In fact, we might need none of those, but... is this... But this is maxed. This is like... Yeah, that's basically all we can... So actually, I should not have fully upped those, because we have 7, basically just 7. So these can't be maxed. Oh, okay, they're not. I must have just maxed the... Okay. I thought we had another major problem, though. Was it the supercomputers? Those seem okay at the moment. But I thought I had a big problem with... something. Life is yours. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why don't you just get some... I mean, what's the balance? Are you still taking embedded classes? Do you have new classes starting, by the way? Have your new classes started yet? Well, okay, game dev, but what about embedded? Starts on the 6th, okay. Okay, seems like we're fine. I think we're more than fine with supercomputers here. So, I don't know, like it kind of feels like a play the waiting game thing, because... Yeah, I should have just had this on the whole last hour while I was talking. Oh my gosh, wait, what kind of app? A web app? You're breaking my heart. My heart is breaking for you. So, getting throughput up here would mean more of these adaptive control units, and they're just a pain. Just a pain in the butt. 2.3. We could build another one of these, but then we need more modular frames. So what would that really get us? Like, if we tried to max these out, what would we really need? Wait, we have so many of these. Wait, how do I have... What? How do we have 50 of these in here? I think I know why. I think there was a period where we were way over... where this is running, but we had no supercomputers during the whole time that we were out of aluminum. Oh my gosh, just go back to being an electrician. Use your electrician skills and your embedded skills and never do anything for the web ever again. How does that sound? I think it sounds great. 3 per minute. Like, we're gonna churn through these fairly quickly, but maybe we'll get where we need to go before there. In fact, maybe we should just like try to max these out. Like, we're gonna eat through those computers quickly, but maybe I can go dig up a computer somewhere. I do need another energy doodad, though. The most important thing about me buying all these tools is so I can decorate my house with them by knolling them on the walls. That's the real aim here. Do I have any energy doodads? I got some bugs. Do you like the repetitiveness of web development, where just nothing works right because all the tools are terrible? Okay. So this is gonna mean we actually need something more like six supercomputers, call it, a minute. Not really, but ish. I mean, I'm not telling you you should have been an electrician. I think you should buy some cool tools, but you don't have to be an electrician for that. It feels like we have plenty of stuff to do this, right? We can crank this up to 6-ish, right? And that should be okay. Seems like we've got plenty of stuff coming in. We churn through these pretty quickly, 10 a minute, but we have a lot, so I think that's going to be okay. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't mind. There are lots of things. I mean, there's no question that working in the trades can take a toll on your body, for sure. And I think there's lots of trade work that can be crazy repetitive, and of course. But if I had to choose between being a web developer and almost any other thing, I would do the other thing. So just have, tremendous respect for tradespeople who like make real things. Oh no! I thought we were okay on the automated wire. Oh no! Okay, well, we've got at least a little bit of a buffer here, but now the automated wiring. And I'm like getting a flashback to there actually maybe being a really substantial problem over here that I sort of forgot about or was ignoring. So why are these not operating? It's high-speed connectors. So what's going on with the high-speed connectors, everybody? There's a bunch of them right there. Those shouldn't be moving. This takes an insane amount of quick wire. Ah, right. That's what we were doing. Oh, I forgot. I forgot that we were like went through all that trouble to like start bringing the quick wire over here. Oh boy. I don't want to do that. It's so far away. Oh no. I get it. My days blend together and it's a bad sign. Shoot. Just forgot. And we can't use like trains, anything like that. I feel like it's really not going to do the job here. Okay, right. So that's the thing we actually should have been working on. And so the place we need to be is pretty much here. The place that Oh man. Also, I'm probably gonna fly over here and be angry that I don't have enough. Stuff. Enough stuff on me. Like, I don't know. I feel like I need to do something. I don't really like. I don't want to do the work that I do anymore for the most part. What am I gonna do instead? German tool reviews? Maybe. I mean, I've been saying that for the last few years that I don't really want to do a lot of the things that I do. But, so we need to be all the way over there. That's not good. Let me tell you about these. I don't know. I don't know about them. I mean, the thing. I don't know yet. I don't know what to think about them. I think. I think I. I think long term, I will think it is a good idea. I think right now it just feels a little bit like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. I gotta like get all this stuff going. Um, through two admin interfaces, and yes, I could just pay the buy the controller, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm not gonna buy an $80 controller to control two devices, and then it's like, okay, I just gotta set up this stupid management thing, but it's in Java, and I don't want to put that on here, and yeah, I'm cool with the idea of like the flexibility it will have long term. I think I like the idea just in general of decoupling access point from router, because like router technology does not seem to move at the same speed as access point technology. So I'm like, that feels good. If I'm going to be buying a house soon, I like the idea of like, throwing up a few access points through the house and using power over Ethernet to get the stuff there. Like, that all sounds not bad. Um, can I? Oh my gosh. Are you making fun of me for when I tried to talk to the lights and couldn't talk to the lights because of my network configuration? I could do that now. I would be able to. I would be able to do that now. Uh, if I wanted to, I guess in theory. What a sad story. What a sad day that was. An American Express transaction. Does that mean here's the main problem with like, no, it's my health insurance. Oh boy. Here's the main thing. I actually, this is a little hard to describe, I think, but there were so many years of my life that I was like kind of always traveling, always moving around, staying with people, working on whatever, working on projects, staying in sublets or whatever. And I was like very mobile for a lot of years. I like kind of didn't have an address in my for much of my 30s. And so I had pared my life back dramatically, where I just really didn't own much of anything. Just like basically some Rubbermaid tubs of stuff that I would ship when I went to a new city sometimes, or sometimes it was just a big bag that I would take with me depending on how long I would be in a given place. And there's ways in which that worked for me, like super light, super mobile can just kind of like, it's very freeing kind of feeling, right? Like very mobile, freeing. I just want to make sure I have stuff in my pocket before I go over here. Okay, I don't have enough stuff. Actually, we had quite a bit of aluminum. So, but then I ended up in Portland, and I ended up staying here longer than I kind of meant to, but I didn't have anywhere else I needed to be. And then it started to feel pretty ridiculous just being in a totally empty apartment and no, like, I don't know, just not like nesting in any way or like building a comfortable home in any way. And so that's a thing that I've been working on kind of and thinking about a lot, is like just a comfortable environment, especially as I get older. thinking about buying a house, all that stuff. And it's been a process for over years. And like my New Year's resolution last year was basically just like working on ways to cultivate just like what little things can I do to kind of make my life a little better every day? You know, like what little, doesn't have to be major, doesn't have to be super crazy ambitious things. It can just be simple, kind of simple. I mean, whatever, literally, like what simple things can I buy? What little things can I do to my routine? Whatever. Just like to make my life a little more livable in some ways, I guess you might say. And I don't know. I think I did okay with that in some ways, or have done okay with that in some ways. It's a little bit hard thing to gauge, but at least I can kind of look around and be like, well, okay, I've made some efforts in that direction. And it sounds it does sound or feels silly to say, but like even the idea of thinking like, well, one day I would like to have a shop. I just want to start putting together the tools for that and start thinking about that and like taking it seriously. And it's one of those things, and I think this is the thing I had to learn sort of, is I had kind of trained myself that owning things was bad, or owning things was like purely a hassle, or it just was not going to, like owning things was not the right solution for me. You know, I like to be very lightweight. And so I was very kind of anti-owning things in a lot of ways. And I still kind of am like that, but I guess the thing that changed was just sort of, I don't know, just thinking like, well, you know, it's not like it's not like you could just buy a thing to change your life immediately, but I think you can buy some things to make your life work a little better, or make your, as a way of pursuing certain interests and so on and so forth. So those are things I was thinking about, and things that I continue to think about. And so in some ways, some of these little things like buying a toolbox and getting some tools and whatever have been sort of like mental health projects, you know, to kind of like put my life, you know, just like cultivate it a little bit, curate it a little bit. And so I think I've gotten a little better at that. Maybe not super great, but a little better at least. And I think that as far as having a vision for the future, even if there's a lot of details I don't know at all, there's aspects of it where it's like, you know, I feel pretty sure I would like to have a little shop, like a shop with the tools that I would like to have just to do whatever weird things I want to do. Feels like an achievable goal and a meaningful goal, like a goal that actually would be kind of a meaningful thing for just my quality of life. And so that stuff I've been working on. It's a slow process. Sometimes it feels like, I don't know. Anyway, it's the thing I've been working on. But the thing I have not resolved really is like somewhere in there I have to make money. Like it's a requirement, unfortunately. Somewhere in there, some aspect of this has to make money. And that really shifted for me, I guess, in the last few years, because a big part of up until early last year, a big focus was just like, well, I have a tremendous amount of student loans to pay off, and so now what? And so there were some years where it just was like, well, I just will take whatever jobs because I have to pay these student loans, and so on and so forth. And I'm not totally out of that mindset, really, I guess. Like in some ways I still am really aggressively saving, I guess, that in a way that's just become my house payment. But I don't know. I don't know what the thing is that I even want to think about doing to make money, or like what is even the direction to go with that. And some part of me is like, I should do something completely different. And then some part of me says, well, that's absurd. You've spent your life building a certain skill set. Why don't you find a way to cultivate the skills that you've spent a life, leverage the skills you've spent your life cultivating. So anyway, whatever. Very long-winded statement, but that's a big question for me right now, I guess. Is like, what do I want to do to make money every day? Because it's a bummer. It's kind of annoying. I think that's good. I think that's actually good. Like and it's like 5 years ago. So yeah, binary. Like the idea of like filling those gaps intentionally and doing it with intention, like it's and not just as like retail therapy, just buying to buy, but buying it as like taking agency over your life. And I feel like a few years ago I just couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand it, and I would have been opposed to buying anything. So for example, like buying these tools, it would have been like, well, why would I buy that tool if I didn't need it today? You know, like if it's a tool that I might need, you know what I mean? Like where it was hard for me to justify things that weren't a very clear and present need at that moment. Like why would I buy it? That goes especially for things like decorating my house. And I have friends who have lovely homes that are really comfortable to be in. And my home is never like that. And so I recognize like, okay, it's not just decoration. It's about like creating a curated habitable space where you will live your life and hopefully have a better time for it. Um, well, so yeah, life is yours, like you're saying. I'm just anti-buying things that isn't a need. The trick is though, is like what is a need, and I think that's where I was really hung up. Like, um, so for example, my friend Mackenzie or my friend Lola, you could go into their house and you could look at their beautiful homes, so comfortable to be in, like really pleasant places to be, and you could pick any one thing in that home and be like, well, that thing is not useful. You don't need this thing. This candle is not useful. And I still have this mindset. I still have not gotten out of this. But when you look at the whole environment that they've created, of which that particular candle is a part of that environment, I have no question that their environment is like good for them. Like it's good for their mental health. It's good for their like day-to-day enjoyment of their lives. So from that perspective, it's like, well, maybe it is kind of a need. I mean, I think there's a need to like address the things that make your day-to-day life better. And that was the thing, actually. I think I inherited a lot of my like, oh, don't buy a thing you don't need from my grandma. And then it wasn't until just in the last year or two, honestly, I realized like, wait a minute. She would always say that, but she had like decorative things in her home. She didn't just live in an empty box the way I usually live. She like made an environment that was nice for her to be in. And so I think the tricky part is like your definition of what need is, because I do think I have a psychological need to feel comfortable in the place that I am all the time. And part of that may be some purely aesthetic purchases, you know, things that maybe are on paper frivolous or unnecessary, but like, I don't know. I seeing some of my friends accomplish that so well, I really don't have much doubt that it's like, there's actually something to it. I think there's something meaningful to that. Well, okay, furnish your home like an Airbnb, but binary. I think that's actually kind of brilliant, and it's funny because both my friend Lola, who is was so good at curating her house, like built out her garage and did all the work and did a beautiful job, and now has like, um, I've had a few friends do that, but so she did it and she actually turned it into an Airbnb. But yeah, where it's like, oh, it's a place that someone could walk in and be like, oh, this place is great. It's like a comfortable, nice place. My apartment is not that. My apartment right now, I mean, for the first time almost in my adult life, there are a few things hung on the wall. I'm like so slowly doing that. But it's if you walked into an Airbnb like that, you'd be like, oh, it's like half finished. They haven't finished moving in yet or whatever. Um, no, but I think that's good. Maybe I should start doing that. Um, really, really think about it in that way. Like I'm not decorating for myself because I have a hard time with that. Well, but okay, the knickknack items though. Again, if you look at, I mean, whatever, pick a catalog. One, I think there's two things about knickknacks. I think there are two important things about knickknacks. That one, I understand where you're coming from because I've been in that headspace. But my new headspace is there's two things about it. One, knickknacks very often didn't just come out of nowhere. Um, Very often they have some kind of sentimental story or family story or time and place story or whatever. And so I think it can be nice to surround yourselves with things like that. And I mean, again, I'm only capable of doing that right now with like useful things. You know, like I'm saying, these are going to be these are going to be the pliers that when I use them I'm going to think about my mom. You know, like that's what kind of part of the aim there. But I think that's a thing in a lot of people's spaces is they're not always just totally random things. Sometimes they are, but sometimes those things tell a story. So I think that's part of it. But I think again, like for a comfortable environment, like I think binary gets it. Like or like you go into a nice Airbnb, you go into a nice hotel, whatever. The environment is not one thing. It's not a single thing. I think I'm where to look for this. Like oh, I know where we should look. Speaking of Reddits, let's just go to Reddit, male living space. Because I think this has some interesting, like, I don't know, people who are aesthetes that live in empty spaces and then work on it. Like, let's find a good one. In fact, let's do, like, top of whatever. All-time top. Like, there's going to be a lot of things in here. Well, if you do, like, that you could say, well, that's not necessary, or that's a knickknack, or like these additional pillows on the bed, for example. Look at the before and look at the after, and like, okay, the lighting changed and it's a little cleaner and things are put away a little better. And there are things that are maybe not useful on paper. Like you don't need these extra two pillows, but like you can tell there's a difference between these two beds. Like these spaces will give you a different feeling when you are in these spaces. And again, it's very easy to just pick one thing and be like, oh, well, obviously that one, you know, if you picked one thing, you could hyperfixate on that one thing and be like, that thing's not necessary. That thing is frivolous. But when you look at the sum of the space, like look at this space and look at this space, the functional things didn't change very much. Like the seating, the AV equipment, the lighting, this light at least, those functional things didn't change dramatically. So you might say like, oh, all they did was add a bunch of knickknacks. But like, this to me looks like a way more inviting space. This looks to me like way more of a space I would want to spend time in and be comfortable in. Whereas this just looks like, I don't know what this looks like. Kind of sad. This is what my apartment looks like now, basically. Yeah, I think binary. I definitely think you get it. Like seeing your apartment, I think you get it. I get it conceptually. I just can't do it yet. I just can't because, like you, life is yours. If I was somewhere and I was gonna like, if I had any one of these things, and part of it's a forest for the trees kind of thing. Any one of these things, if I was in the store holding it in my hand, I would be like, well, I'm not gonna pay for that. Like, why would I pay whatever? Why would I pay $14 for these cup coasters? Why would I pay $30 for these little trays? But it's not about that one thing. It is about the like entire curated, carefully assembled environment of which that thing is a critical piece. You know, that's a thing that is relevant to like the whole space. And you can still be pretty minimal. Like this is a bit minimal, but there's stuff here that's not strictly necessary. You know. So I it's a thing I get conceptually. It's a thing I just have not figured out how to do yet. And I've really considered just like for my friends that are good at it, like maybe I should just give them a budget and be like, hey, you know me, you've known me for a long time. Here's some money. Make my apartment a comfortable place to be and not just like an empty room. Like I've definitely lived in rooms that basically look like this or even less, in fact. With even less than this. It's funny. I kind of want to try to show you the first room I lived in in when I went to grad school. Let's see if I can find it real fast. So that would have been 2012. And I was so in that mindset of like, I don't need anything. I don't need any unnecessary things, which meant I just didn't have, basically just meant I did not have anything. And it was like, surely I took a picture. Let's see. Ah, yes. See if I can put this photo in Discord and have it not be mad about the size of the photo. Okay, life is yours. I think I see some things in there that are knickknacks in your space. Is that the yeah, and I mean, well, that would be the trick. Like, I don't want to like hire. I don't know. I have a couple of close friends that I feel like are really naturals at that, and are like, and that know me pretty well, that I think maybe I would trust to do it. I don't know. Who knows? I don't trust anybody. I mean, obviously this is the best. Yes, this is clearly the best home accessory you can have. There's just no question. No question there. So yes, this was my apartment. This is how I lived when I moved to New York. I didn't have a bed. I didn't have anything. Like, this was my room, and it was basically all. There was a bag here, and I think my school backpack, but that was basically all I had, basically all I owned. Well, except nothing wrong with the futon on the floor if it's actually a comfortable floor. In Japan, you would probably be on like some kind of matting and not hard tile. It was not a comfortable bed. But I think if you looked at a futon, like most other environments that you would see these in, I think you would find them more like in more cozy, comfortable environments than my literally entirely empty room. You know, like this seems like a much more pleasant place to be than my very empty room. So anyway, whatever. It's a thing. It's a thing that took me a long time to even understand, and I still don't know how to work it yet. You know, I don't quite know how to. I don't quite know how to do it yet. Life is yours. If I look long enough at this photo, am I gonna see something embarrassing? Anything embarrassing in here? Is Waldo in here? Mm-hmm. Is that a megaphone? What is this? You have a megaphone in your room? Oh, I see. Junk like megaphones? Oh my gosh! We just beat the game while I wasn't looking. Wait, really? Wait, I wasn't... I thought we weren't gonna have an... What? But... What happened? Did I already launch this... Well, I mean, are you serious? Do we have to launch anything, or did I like even miss? I think we have to do something, right? Okay, are you ready? Here it is. Delivery will unlock a small reward in the awesome shop. Seal. And Ready, go. Wow. No more objectives. So are we just like, we have to wait like 10 minutes or something. Oh, unavailable in early access. Okay. So we're just, there goes the space elevator. Bye. Bye. Wait, I see it. It didn't even go to outer space. What's up? Okay. It is definitely going to be extremely anticlimactic. I can almost guarantee. This is like the same thing in Factorio. Even with Factorio was like done, it just didn't have an ending yet. But yes, this is what happens when you play an early access game. Wait, okay, that was just a box falling. I thought I was getting some fun presents. Okay, are you ready to see what I have unlocked? What did I unlock? Employee of the Planet Cup is what I unlocked. I unlocked... I guess I never did. I didn't unlock any of these. Well, okay. So this is what I've unlocked. Let's go get some... Where's my cards? Oh, whatever. Take them all. Shoot. Wow. I'm the best employee on the whole planet. What an honor. I think I need any candy canes. Infinite resources? No, because the game's not done. I'm just have to wait for them to add more content to the game. So the thing I have unlocked is this. Let's just put this over here. Ah, this is what I've unlocked. Nice golden cup. It doesn't have a right click, sadly. Well, we did it. I guess we did it. I would say I have like a okay first aid. It definitely needs work. I have band-aids of multiple sizes. Thank you. Thanks for the GG. I do have band-aids. I do have antiseptic. I do have some slightly weird things that I have things that were related to a grievous injury I received that I still use as tools. But, you know, maybe it could be first aid tools, like some sutures and things like that. I have sutures ready to go. If I need to suture anything, if I cut myself so badly that sutures are required, I'm ready. I should amp up the first aid kit a little bit. Yeah, actually, well, so I started this, I don't know, Thanksgiving, right? So where are we? Oh my gosh, we have like 170 hours. I spent 170 hours on this game in like 6 weeks. Yeah, I don't know really what I would be missing, I guess, that I would feel like I would need immediately. Like I do have enough like, yeah, minor injuries enough that I'm definitely a person to put on band-aids pretty quickly just so I will not bleed on everything. Not out of like whatever. But I mean, I think that's a thing that happened in design school. Is just like if you cut yourself with an X-Acto knife, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like a $30 print, and I have no money, and I have no time. I can't bleed on this. I can't reprint it. Like, so it would immediately, I still have this instinct of like, whatever I'm doing, don't bleed on the thing. And so I guess I have those kinds of things. What should be in a will? Okay, well, we did it, everybody. Appreciate it. Um, I I don't know what to say. I kind of am glad we did this. I mean, I don't know. It's a thing that I knew from the start that would happen, where like the early access of this would lead exactly to this, to like kind of an anticlimactic moment. Kind of the last 20 hours of this game have been pretty boring and tedious, and just waiting for those numbers to stick up. Like, I guess like I thought those things would happen, and they did. I think it's a great game. Very good. I should have waited till it was done, but who knows when that will be. So probably I will just, I don't know. I have two options, I guess. I guess one option is just sleep on it until it's totally done, or sleep on it until the next big update, and just like going forward. I mean, who knows how many more big updates they'll do? Maybe it's getting close to done. Um, like, will there just be one more tier, or will there be multiple more? I don't know. So I guess I'll just kind of play it by ear as they make announcements. But it's a good game. It's very good. I didn't save, but I think it's okay because there was an auto save, so I think it's okay. Okay, I want to know now. What's the I have a Star Trek lens flare search up. Very helpful. Uh, well stocked first aid kit. Like, what do we really need here? What's I want to know. Yeah, like the Mayo Clinic. Let's see what we need. Actually, what I think I don't have now that I actually probably should, because occasionally it is important, is yeah, just like gauze and adhesive tape. Because I when I messed up, what was even the last time I messed up my toe? Some injury. Maybe it was the last time I hurt my foot. That I don't think I have any of that. So that would be good. Some adhesive tape and gauze straight up would be good. Um, some of these things like I mean, some of these things I just don't know. What are they? Some nitrite gloves, scissors, tweezers, antibiotic. I think I'm actually. I mean, I have so many. Do these count? I have lots of like alcohol prep pads. It says for personal and hospital use, so I guess I'm okay on those. I actually don't own a thermometer. That may be a problem. Maybe that is a thing I should take care of. Um, Hydrogen peroxide I don't actually have because I do just use alcohol typically. Some aloe vera gel. Okay. Well, so I think I have some things that I need to. I don't have a defibrillator. We were actually at we for this organization I've been helping out with. I don't know what I'm going to do though, because it's well, anyway, it's another conversation. But we went to this place that is like this place where people donate old electronics, and then they will like refurbish it and resell it. But sometimes they get really old, interesting, weird stuff. And they had what was probably like a 20-year-old defibrillator that I was trying to think of a project for, but it seemed like maybe, I don't know. Defibrillator is maybe didn't feel like the safest thing to try to like open up and stick an Arduino in, so we left the defibrillator behind. Is this, yeah, this seems all right, right? I mean, there's probably one that just whatever. There's probably one that's the one, right? There's probably one that's just whatever. There's some list that is the list, and this first aid kit meets the list. Wish there was an easier way to do this in Amazon. The thing I always do is like pick a thing and go down to the thing. I'm sure there's another way to get to this. Go to, sales and deals. So first aid kits in sports and outdoors. Number 2 in first aid kits, health and household. So this is number 1. First aid only, all purpose essentials. Actually, I'm kind of into this one. It's sort of cool. Was it on sale? It was under sales and deals. Doesn't really seem like a. Why does it say it's under sales and deals, but it's the normal price? I mean, I could get like a cool Scooby Doo lunchbox or something and use that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I would have if I had taken the defibrillator, I would have taken anything out of it that seemed insane and high voltage, or would have endeavored to, and then maybe put it where it like whatever, who knows? Use like some little simple capacitive touch sensor to do something funny if you touch it to a person. Um, you would kind of have thought there would be a like I don't know. Who would you think? Like FEMA? Like some like FEMA seal of approval or something like that? Um, Pretty interesting that the 4th bestseller in first aid kits is pregnancy tests. We got a nice little tin here. Yeah, what's the best one? What do I need? Is that what I need? Rewa- Recycled band-aid? Gross. It's too quiet here. I can hear the hard drive ticking. It's driving me mad. Okay, binary. I don't think you were here when I was complaining about this. I bought that Synology NAS. Mostly pretty into it. I think it's a cool device. Like I'm generally pretty pleased with it. Except the fan, I feel like doesn't sound. It's not just that the fan is loud. It has fan modes where you can like run it in like quiet mode or whatever. I have it at the quietest mode. Something about that fan seems to when you run it that slow, it seems like I don't know, like a not even a rattle. It doesn't sound smooth. It's just like it has a like the sound of a sick motor or something, or of a dirty fan or whatever. Maybe it would bother me less if I ran it louder. So anyway, I'm already thinking of replacing that with some Noctua fan or something. But the real problem is I got that crazy Black Friday deal on a 14 terabyte Western Digital drive. Everybody seems super into the drives. They seem to be that thing where they do like the white label with the really reds. So they're like NAS quality drives, enterprise drives, whatever. The drives have this feature uh, that is called what? It is called this. It's this very thing, in fact. The drive is operating as expected. Drive is operating as expected, provided data is accessible, working correctly, and passes are et cetera, whatever. So by design, they've added this feature that every 5 seconds like moves the head. And I've seen it's a little confusing. Like some places that maybe it's both. Some places say that it is that it's like for spreading lubricant. Some say that it's for like PWL, I forget what that one stands for, is for like just making sure that the head is never still, although every 5 seconds seems crazy. Anyway, tons of people irritated by it, complaining about it all over the place. So many people like me who come from a history where if a hard drive ticks, that means it's bad. Um, so yeah, it's got like this little clunk every 5 seconds, and it's driving me insane. I don't really know what to do about it. If it was, yeah, I really don't know what to do about it. Like it's like you know, if it was just hard drive access noise, it would be okay. Like, oh yeah, something's accessing the hard drive, it's gonna make some noise. Or if it was like periodically, it was like, oh, it does this internal self-diagnose, like diagnostic thing, and it runs for 20 minutes or whatever. But it's not that. It is like dead silent in here, and I'm trying to work, and even with headphones on, just every 5 seconds, and it's not just like it's like a thunk. It's not just like a tiny little tick. It's like there's a thunk to it that kind of resonates through everything up there. So I don't know. Well, so I mean, yeah, that's something to think about. Is like an enclosure. So okay, that's a whole nother rabbit hole I've been going down. Is like building some kind of enclosure. I don't really want a full size rack, but um, I mean, this is to the point that I was literally thinking I should just drill a hole through the wall and put it in the kitchen, even though there's no good place to put it in the kitchen. Um, I should just open it up and just break off the arm, and then it won't make that sound anymore. So, but here's the thing. Okay, life is yours. As a licensed electrician, explain to me how come in Europe you've got awesome 10-inch rack gear, and in the US all rack gear is 19-inch and way too big. Because I want a 10-inch rack because it's big enough for the stuff that I have. It's just apparently not a US thing. Like there's people that have sort of made these cute little, like hacked together their own 10-inch rack and then order the shelves from Europe or whatever. But why? I mean, it's whatever. They're like half racks, I guess, half width 10-inch server rack. But there's like one enclosure. But the thing about if it's money, well, yeah, I get it. I mean, it is the half width. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same spec because there does seem to be a European telecom spec that is 10 inches. I'm not. I mean, you know, half width of a 19-inch rack would really be 9.5. So I don't know if the European gear that is sized for those racks, I don't actually know if it fits. I don't have any gear that is exactly like that. So I would be like 3D printing things. Like this looks like an actual European, whatever, 10-inch telecom rack or whatever it is. But it's cool. I would like something like this, if not this. Yeah, hard to get in the US, easy to get in Europe. It's just, which is weird to me, because you would expect that anything that you could manage to sell to Americans, you would. Like, you just would, because Americans will just buy anything. So I don't really understand why you can't get it here. Oh, full width with half depth. Yeah, I don't know. Even that sounds bigger than... I just don't want the... I mean, especially, I guess, if I was going to try to make a thing that was, like, soundproofed, I would be more... Look at this cute little thing. Yeah, like it's something like this. Like, if I was going to try to do something in this ballpark and then try to soundproof it a little bit, I feel like I would like it more with 10-inch. I mean, especially, I mean, I've seen people that like 3D print 19-inch faceplates for their hardware that's this wide. I don't know. I mean, I see people that do it, and they do like this is an actual real 10-inch rack, and then some mixture, like mixed in with some 3D prints. But I think I would prefer this. But I think these are, I mean, I'm sure in Europe, like, data center racks are all 19 inches. I think these really are more like telecom racks. Like, yeah, maybe like in a closet at a business or whatever. But I like that more. But it almost feels like, without just ordering from Europe and paying crazy shipping, this particular one is like the only one on Amazon. This one. And I really like the look of it, actually. So then, of course, I was thinking of making one, and the thing I would actually think I would kind of like is if I could find something. I mean, that's way too expensive, but find something that was kind of just the skeleton, a 10-inch rack skeleton, and then build an enclosure around it. Like, not unlike those ones we were looking at that are the Sweetwater ones, like for music gear. You're killing me. Beautiful. It's a beautiful rain of spaghetti. Oof. Yeah. I mean, the other thing you can do is what these people have been doing is just buying the... Like, it looks like they found at least some 10-inch stuff. Actually, I read this one. So this person ended up paying way too much money for this because they sourced it all and then built it in the US. Yeah, they spent like $140, which is pretty ridiculous for just this thing. But they wanted the 10-inch shelves. So this is two 10-inch shelves, or like half-width shelves. I'm not exactly sure. If they're half-width, are they 9.5? I don't know. But you can just buy the rack. Buy the, what do you call it? The rack strip, I guess. Maybe Amazon Canada. Is that what I should do? I don't know if Canada has this stuff. And then, like, there is this, and a patch panel. So there's a 10-inch patch panel and so on and so forth. But it's just like, I like the look of this. And I feel like I could build something cool around this. But it just feels like the individual pieces are way too expensive. I mean, that's cheap enough. The rack is cheap enough. But the shelf? I guess it's good it's a 2-pack. But a 2-pack is $40? Why? Why is a sheet metal shelf that expensive? I feel like I could just get some sheet metal and bend it. Well, $140 for a solved, like a totally solved thing would not be bad. I think for this person, where it, like this thing is $140, not including the equipment, I think that's too much. If it was $140 and it was like already in an enclosure or whatever, I think I'd be like, yeah, that's not unreasonable. But $140 just to get the or maybe they did actually. You know what? Maybe they did. Maybe $140 was actually. I'm sorry. I think $140 actually did include at least some of the network gear. So, oh, you're not available. So Intellinet seems to be a brand. So I don't know. I really don't know what I want to do. Like, I just don't want that in this. Like, I have a couple choices, I guess. One is buy a different drive, which I don't want to. I really don't want to deal with that. It was like, that was a good deal. It was a Black Friday deal. Actual NAS drives are super expensive. It would cost like twice as much. I just don't really want to swap it. And I guess I could and then still keep this one and just use it external for backups or something. I don't know. Is that true? Are you moving away from your full rack? Well, I know. Well, but actually, life is yours. That's a point that I think is weird. Is that it is totally becoming more and more common for people to have in their home, like, some network gear. And so you would kind of think that there would be, like, something that's a step up from plastic, like a plastic, whatever, ASUS router access point, one thing, but that is not quite $1,000 commercial data center rack. It's just a little weird that there's not a middle ground, especially for as many people that are into like home lab stuff. I've definitely seen people in those communities getting excited about 10-inch and then realizing that it's hard to source. Maybe if you just buy it all from me and ship it here. Yeah, I don't know. That's just, there's so much of our electronics don't integrate into our lives at all. It's like, it's so poorly designed from the concept. This is the monument to that of like disrespectful design. Like this hideous piece of garbage, this hideous piece of trash is like a monument to disrespecting people's homes. After so many years of like stupid, crappy plastic electronics all over the place, like this one is just some homage to bad design. At least Xbox had the decency to just make the Series X just a black box that you can cram in the corner or whatever. It's at least inoffensive. It sucks, but it's inoffensive in its suckiness. This has no place in my home. Yeah, I think the black square is definitely better. Absolutely, the black squares. No question, this is better. For sure. But even in the prosumer range, the stuff isn't standardized to the degree that I would want. I know, well, whatever. If you like it, you like it. And then that's fine. Then it's a thing you want in your home. Then it's fine. I don't want a plastic conversation piece. Like I don't want it. I get it. I get what they're doing. I specifically get what they're doing where like as a counter to this, like I get it. I hate it. I think it's terrible. I think it's badly designed in a lot of ways, just functionally. It's a poorly designed device that doesn't fit well into furniture people already have, on and on and on. I just hate it. No, okay, the idea of, yes, the plastic black all over your home is the problem that I'm talking about. But I'm saying if you have to live in this world where you just deal with stupid plastic things, at least this one's innocuous. At least this one just like fits in a corner somewhere and stands up on its own. And actually, I think the Series S is kind of cool looking. I mean, as far as like just liking the look of a thing, I think I much prefer the look of the Series. I think this is a way more beautiful device. Like just as an object, I way prefer this to this. I like the lines on it. It's just a better. I think it's a better device. It's more my style, I guess, is maybe a way to put it. But yeah, but for stuff nobody cares about, it's just dumb. It's lame that it's not kind of standardized in a way. Like, I don't care. I mean, the notion that routers are like decorative is absurd. Somebody apparently, I don't know who is like, oh yeah, this is sick looking. Oh, sick. Look how sick this looks. Can't wait to put this in my house. Sick. And that's not even the worst. The worst are like this. The people who are like, yeah, I can't wait to put this up. I'm sure that person exists, I guess. I don't know that person. I know a lot of people that just have a bunch of stupid electronics that they don't really like the look of, that they just have to cram somewhere. In fact, you know who's doing it well? At least trying. For the very simplest piece is like at least this tries to be a thing that you could have in your home, and it's not terrible. Like it tries. It's and the Google Nest, Wi-Fi, all of those, even the Echo to some extent, like those smaller things, they at least could try to live in your home. But of course, this has to be plugged to some stupid cable. Like, there's no, is there a cable modem that doesn't look stupid? I don't think so. Is there a cable modem, like a rack-mounted cable modem? It probably exists, but then they'd be 19-inch. Oh yeah, they're. Well, no, those aren't even cable modems. That must exist, right? Oh, that's kind of cool. Modem module for what? Yeah, Google Mesh is in that same realm. Like a lot of the mesh ones are okay. But what is this a module for? I want a thing where I can just slide in this module and have. I mean, I'm sure you're right that I could find a like 19U or like a 1U 19-inch cable modem, but that seems sort of insane for a thing that could be tiny, I guess. But I just don't. What does this go in? I don't even know what company I'm dealing with at this moment. Like a module for what, I guess, is my question at this moment. Oh, commercial TV and lodging deployments. Huh. Okay, but it's for like an... Huh. Bloom, how's it going? I'm just looking... I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm looking at cable modems and complaining. Oh, that could be nice. They do that with like the cell phone antenna trees. So you want this life is yours, but just in your house, where they have these like artificial trees that are actually antenna. You just like put this in a potted plant in your home. I think that's not a bad idea. The thing I want, of course, obviously, is this, where it's like, I want this hanging on the wall, and I want like, okay, yeah, this thing is the cable modem, and this thing is the router, and this thing is the, I don't know, what else do I have? Whatever, down here is the NAS, you know, the NAS drives are down here. Bookshelves with cable management, or even actually, I mean, when you, the place that maybe gets closest to getting it right, we did look at, I think you sent me one of these binary, but like the like music rack enclosures. I don't know what I'm looking for though. Like what search term do I want? Oh, that's not a word. Like getting into this realm. Yeah, this is as close as I've seen, I guess. It seems too expensive. And people make, it's kind of cool actually, like people make these out of IKEA, cheap IKEA furniture and just like make them into, but like, I guess studio furniture broadly, where you have like desks and stuff that have, so is this the secret? Is it like nice, like expensive studio furniture? I mean, I've certainly seen some beautiful, yeah, that was like this kind of thing. Let's just get this. How about this? This will just be my new desk. It was 42 units of rack space. Like, this is actually not a bad looking thing. Like, this is not a bad looking object. It doesn't have good reviews. But it's trying. It's trying. Yeah, I mean, the thing that's going to happen, I guess, plan is I get a house. I get to set up a little shop. I get this Onefinity Journeyman, which I may do before. 'Cause, like, I don't know, I don't know what else I have. What else do I have? 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 What before and sort out my friend's shop. I thought this was going to be a coupon. Look at that deal. It's on sale. Look at this bargain. Look at this bargain. I wonder when the sale ends. Should I just buy this? Buy this and just start making all of my own things from Baltic birch. And then the way I will make my money is by selling it to Binary. That's my monetization strategy. I will have one customer. The customer will be Binary C. Life is Yours will not buy anything for me because he'll say he doesn't need it. Should I just buy this? Here's the thing. I did a job in November. I'm owed money for that job, but I'm tempted to like work out a deal with my friend who I did the work for and just say like, let's just buy this thing. I think we can do it. I'm just not ready to, I don't know, being around humans, that's the whole thing. Yeah, pretty nice. Like, okay, but what do people do with this? So what do I have? That's the ER 605 or something. Like how do you, like, these are not beautiful. These are not beautiful. I mean, this is pretty cute. And whatever, like some little IKEA shelf or something. I don't even know what this is. It's pretty cute. They got this little 10U thing. Or sorry, 1U 10-inch thing. Very cute. Yeah, so people do this kind of thing with weird 3D printed solutions. That's pretty funny, actually. That's not a terrible solution. There's plenty of this kind of stuff where it's just you screw everything to a piece of wood. I mean, people do this thing where it's just like on a shelf. I know these people would like something nice. I mean, obviously all of these Homeland people want something nice. They want to do something nice with all this, right? It just feels like there's no question. They want that. And like, I don't know, there's so little consistency in the width and size of things unless it's literally a 19-inch rack unit. And then if it's not a 19-inch rack unit, all bets are off. Okay, I'm glad tools are the exception because that will be the cornerstone of my home decor. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Like all these people I know would like a nice. This is a cute little enclosure. Like it's toasty in there. I bet they have a fan. This is what I was imagining needing to build if I just cannot stand this. It actually was driving me crazy. I've realized in the last week, I have really been not. Yeah, of course, not just the people, and these are the people that really want it, right? But then of course there's all the people that just like end up stuck with it. Yeah, cables everywhere. It sucks. And it's like really, I don't know. It is kind of like, it doesn't have to be that way. Obviously we can figure it out and standardize things. It just doesn't feel like that should only be at like data center level expense, you know? Like it seems weird that even as a manufacturer, even as TP-Link, like what are they thinking? where they're like, oh yeah, great. You got this thing and it's one size, and you got this thing and it's one size, and you got this thing and it's one size. And some of these things need to be able to have stuff plugged into the front of them and to the back of them. Good luck. Like, what is the point actually of this device, this thing that is not designed to go on a rack? Why would you have the power in the back and the Ethernet ports in the front? Like, that makes a lot of sense in a rack setup, but like, why for this? Why do you need that? Or for this like little 5-port switch? Like, the rack company, maybe. It just sucks. Like, you would think that just within their own ecosystem that one company would get it right? Like, why doesn't... I mean, I'm gonna end up doing that for myself, I feel like, and I'll just be an insane person, and I will just CNC custom setups for everything. Do they have a small rack? Wait, unify these? It's pretty. It's pretty. But I mean, not all of their stuff is 1U 19-inch, right? Like, they have a lot of stuff that's just this same problem, exact same problem. Is like, this thing is this size. It's got stuff that plugs in on the front and the back. This thing is this size. This thing is this size. Like, and then people do this and do their cool 3D print things, and that's cool. But oh, is this actually them? Is this like a real one, or is that just a thing from? Whoa, is that some weird third-party site that just happens to sell that thing? Huh. Or is this like a real thing from them? From is this real? Maybe you can. Maybe they do have it. Well, it looks like they at least have adapters to adapt their like consumery things to a 19-inch rack, but it still doesn't really solve the problem I'm talking about, right? I mean, awesome. Yeah, you could pay. You could go to Etsy and find rack mounts for these things that cost more than the devices. I just, yeah. I mean, I feel like that actually could have been a big differentiator for TP-Link, right? If they had said, like, check it out, you can mount our stuff and have it look nice in your home office. Maybe not even your home, just like, I mean, I'm not the only one with the idea, because people are. This looks like there's like Etsy. Smart. Get it all from Alibaba. Like, how are you supposed to mount this thing? What does TP-Link think you're supposed to do with this? Like, in their mind, how are you supposed to do this? What is your model rack mount setup? Or do they just not really think about it? Like, there's like wall screw holes on the back. Yeah, so yeah, you can buy stuff on Etsy, I guess. This is way too expensive. What are they made of? Wow. This is just like bad looking PLA. This person loves it. This looks terrible to me. That looks awful. So you pay $80 for a bad 3D print? Maybe I should get rich this way. Bad 3D print. Like really not good looking. Not a good looking print. Cool. Well, great. I guess this is how we... This is how we become rich. Mediocre 3D print. I like that. Oh, little cabinet's kind of interesting. I don't mind this setup. This isn't the worst. I mean, they've got this looks like that same Aris surfboard modem that I have, so they have some kind of 3D printed dude for that. Yeah, maybe they're all in on it. This very nice. Yeah, I mean, you know, these are people like home lab people that want their stuff to look nice, and like kind of all you can do is try to cram your stuff into a rack, I guess. It's pretty funny. I guess that's what I'll do. Okay, I guess this is what I will do. Oh, you're right. Yeah, if they had the model that gets printed on Shapeways, probably. I guess this is what I will do. I would prefer to do it on a 10-inch rack, I guess. But it just seems hard to get that. I mean, maybe they look better in person. To me, these do not look very good. I mean, maybe, are they ABS? I mean, that just looks just like PLA, right? Well, great. Maybe they're getting rich. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like some piece of furniture I would like. I just couldn't decide on what that piece of furniture was. Like, is it just some IKEA furniture or some like I guess, yeah, like recording studio rack. They just seem too expensive, and it doesn't seem that hard to just like convert a bookshelf or something. If I found a bookshelf that was just already 10 inches across, I guess that would be ideal. Or some kind of cabinet. Like this person, my rack is actually an IKEA bookshelf. Very cute. I don't know. I mean, there's also the people that just like screw it up all over the wall or whatever. Like these? These guys? Yeah, I've been meaning to make tops for these. The Home Depot ones are surprisingly affordable. Like, they seem of the exact same quality of any of them that I've ever touched, I guess. I mean, maybe they're not. I get there's some industrial certification for these. I think that maybe to make them like food or medical grade or something. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, these are only $25. This is not too shabby. Yeah, I think I just have to make a thing. I think I just make a thing, and then sell it on Etsy for $800. Maybe that's my secret. Like, maybe that's like the secret of my future. is just make weird things. I do know already for sure. I've seen, and not that I think somebody's making a living from these things, but for example, that Onefinity router that I'm looking at, for those kind of like routers that are maybe, I don't know, somewhere, they're not quite purely hobbyist, but they're not industrial. They're like, I don't know if prosumer again is the word to use, but there seem to be a lot of people making accessories for those, or custom fixtures or custom fittings or whatever. But who knows if they actually make a meaningful amount of money. So I have been watching, I don't really know where all to look in Portland. I have been kind of watching the PSU surplus, but I feel like I've seen almost no none of that kind of equipment. We got some cool overhead projectors, some nice folding screens, but nothing so far. You know, I haven't seen like old server equipment or something. There's been some interesting old furniture sometimes, so maybe that's the secret. This is a terrible website. But nothing has jumped out to me. I haven't seen anything that's like, yeah, computer or data center equipment or whatever. I think once they had some old monitors, but other than that, I haven't looked at Shapeways in a while. What's going on with Shapeways? Is it awesome? People do this, the lac rack, because I think that the lac table, I actually have one. The table that's just like $10 is actually 19 inches across. I don't know. I would not want to do that. I mean, it's kind of funny that that stuff actually fits, but they're so cheap. Like, I just would not really trust a thing of that build quality to, I mean, people do it, but I just wouldn't. I don't know. It's not what I would want to do. A bit sad to mount your, I mean, basically, yeah. But there's all these beautiful studio kind of rack kind of things. That's not a terrible idea. I mean, none of this stuff does not look hard to build. I have built stuff of this difficulty before. I mean, especially if those are just, I bet they are, just like some off-the-shelf hairpin legs. Yeah, so I was actually thinking about that today. Like, do I want to actually have a different place in this apartment that I might want some equipment? And how do I run the lines there without ruining the apartment, whatever. And I don't actually have, there's not an ideal place really to put the things other than just away from me, like get it away from me. The kitchen is right on the other side of this wall. So the most silly, like ridiculous, the most ridiculous option was just drill a hole through the wall and run an Ethernet cable through it and put the NAS in the kitchen, which maybe I will do just because I can't stand, because the takings drive me insane. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't plan to be here all that much longer, but my thought was I will leave this apartment when I move into a house and, like, you know, I had some goal to move into a house this year, but that's a real thing. It'd be a real thing. So yeah, the problem with my cabinets is they go all the way up to the ceiling. So in the kitchen, I guess I could put it, like drill a hole in the side of the cabinet and put it in a cabinet and then have to worry about airflow. Anyway, whatever. These are like the rabbit holes I was finding myself in. I should probably stop streaming soon because I realized it's kind of late and I think my neighbors can hear me. But I just want to look at these racks a little longer. Just quietly look at the racks a little bit longer. Whew. Good work. A little fan back there. A lot of fasteners. Okay, this is interesting. What's a rast? Smart. I mean, the refrigerator is right here, so I could put it in the refrigerator and it would keep it quite cool. Oh no, they discontinued it. Oh, that's a cute little thing. Besta. That's too bad. That's just a bit too wide. Why would you not run these all the way to the top? Well, because I have been thinking of getting I need a UPS, and I've been thinking about getting a 19-inch 1U UPS and just like yeah, so maybe I don't do that. Okay, so don't do it. Yeah, maybe you're right. No, I guess more than anything, I was just looking to see if anybody had like good. That's kind of cool. That looks not too shabby. Look, if there just happened to already be a good IKEA piece of furniture that I would like. Wow, what's going on over here, IKEA? Freaking me out a little bit. I almost bought a UPS. This is an annoying thing. There's some stupid thing with APC's model numbers where they're really inconsistent and they're almost the same, but there'll be really subtle differences, and you kind of have to like really dig to figure out what features one has versus another. And like the ability to have whatever you call it, power shoot, whatever it is, that like USB plug into a computer to tell the computer that the power's out is like a thing that I wanted. And they don't always make it easy to figure out which specific model numbers of, or like the same basic model number, but then there'll just be like some separate identifying letter. Anyway, annoying. Is that the trick? Is that the secret? Keep spending more money. I think I want, I don't know what I'm looking at. Products. Storage? Or is it furniture? TV and media furniture? Yeah. I just need to make a thing, but... Wait, you think all this stuff is a render? I guess I would believe that. I mean, I don't think this is a render. Do you think that person's a render? Or you think she's just like it's a green screen? She's sitting in front of a green screen? Guess I could believe that. Shelf unit with door. I don't like the shape of these. Okay, I'm sleepy. It's bedtime. Binary. Thanks for hanging out. Ooh, bookshelf. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll make that for you and sell it to you on Etsy. So yeah, I think what we learned today is that one, hashtag ad. Hashtag not sponsored. Go buy all that stuff. Okay, I'm ready. Looks great. Looks great. What if there's humans in there? Okay, anyway. Yeah, so I'm just going to design these like really expensive bespoke things and make them out of Baltic birch and then sell it to Binary C. So I think it's a good plan. I'll get Life is Yours to work on it. You can do all the electrical work, wire it up. It's going to be great. Binary, thanks for stopping by. Life is Yours, thanks for stopping by. Draclin, thanks for stopping by. Who else stopped by? We had Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg. I forgot the name. I'm sorry. Anyway, everyone who stopped by, I appreciate it. Bloom55, that's who it was. And you know, I gotta start working on some projects again, I guess. So we'll start streaming some more soon. And yeah, we beat Satisfactory, even though that was like, I didn't actually play it. I just like beat it in the background basically. But anyway, okay. Yes, it's 8:30 a.m. Go to bed. Goodbye, everyone.